Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. This is your boy the teacher, man. So today I want to talk about something that has been trending since yesterday. And today I was just reading Facebook response or something like that, and I was like, anyway, it's fine. And I hope you guys have heard about Bushiri and this whole rape allegation, but I'm not here to talk much about Bushiri anyway. But all I want to say is, this year has been so hard to call yourself a Christian. This year has been so hard to call myself a Christian, because a lot of things have happened in the body of Christ. You see, this church is talking about this church, and this church is talking about that church. This prophet is talking about that prophet, and that prophet is talking about that teacher. And there's this noise happening from believers' point of view and non-believers alike. I'm like, what's really going on? There was a conversation that pained my heart like last week in the barbershop. So basically, this barber is from Lebanon, and this guy sits on the barber chair, and he was asking like, "Oh dude, where are you from?" And he was like, "I'm from Lebanon." And he was like, "Okay, are you a Christian or a Muslim?" He's like, "I'm not religious." And the whole reason why he said he's not religious is because of what so-called believers, so-called Christians have been doing in the community, like in the churches. So a lot of bad things have been happening, and everybody's like, what's really going on? Like, how do you call yourself a Christian when Christians themselves are not united? And this guy was like, what, I'm not religious either, and this is what I consider my religion. As long as I treat people right, as long as I help people and I'm doing all things right, that's my religion. I cannot call myself a Christian or Muslim or something like that. And this kept me thinking, like, this is really a bad time to call myself a Christian, because I couldn't jump into the conversation to say I am a Christian, because these people were talking about the things that people that call themselves Christians have been doing, which is so insane and so bad. Like, why is this happening in the body of Christ, and why is this happening now? There's so many fake prophets out there, and this one calling that one a false prophet, and this one doing these fake miracles, and you can actually see that, okay, what, how can you say that that's a miracle, yet we know, like, you can actually see that, okay, what, this is not true. So people are all preaching about money right now instead of preaching about Christ. Like, when are we gonna listen to a message that is taking you to Christ? I remember years back when I was just growing up, and my mom saying, there was a time when somebody says, like, if somebody says I'm a Christian and goes to church and go back home the same again, then something was wrong, because if you have sinned the night before and you're in church, you'll be exposed. But right now we don't see people getting exposed of their sins, and people call themselves Christians, yet nothing is really changing in their lives. Like, there's no transformation happening in their lives, and you're like, what's really going on right now? Like, I even wonder, like, if this whole thing, like, this whole miracle kind of situations that happens in these churches, if it's real. There's so many questions in the body of Christ right now. If some of these churches are legit like that, are they really true miracles happening there? Are they real prophets, or maybe they're just faking the prophecies and all that? But I believe that we've been warned about this time. Christ himself warned us about the last days. These are the last days, and what we're seeing now is actually what Jesus warned us. You see, so we need to start preaching about Christ and stop preaching about money. What will you gain if you preach about this whole thing? You see, Jesus said, what will profit a man if you gains the whole world and lose his soul? You see, and what do you who are misleading people, because there's something that's coming your way. God is going to punish you for whatever you're doing. You need to know that Christ is watching. God is watching you. God is watching you. It's time to repent. And if you know that you've been cheating people, just repent. God is faithful to forgive you. Because I'm speaking this and it's paining my heart. And I've been thinking about recording this for, the whole day. We need to change. We need to get back to Christ and start preaching the true gospel instead of preaching about money.